According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, that is KNBS, about 800,000 young Kenyans join the labor market each year. Despite the majority of youth in the labor market being qualified, youth unemployment is estimated to be at a high of 35% compared to the overall national unemployment rate of 10%. Moving on, in addressing this, the national government has set up 845 accredited technical and vocational education and training institutions. However, the concern from human resource experts is that most of the courses offered are not aligned with the market, with employers demanding for workers with a more general business skills, including information technology, accounting, and project management. Question being then, how then can one position themselves in the job market to be spotted by employers in a highly competitive and crowded space? To talk to us about what skills one needs to stand out in a competitive Kenyan job market that has been made worse by the COVID-19 pandemic, we're joined by James Watari, who is a human resource consultant passionate about helping job seekers get their dream jobs. Mr. Watari, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Happy to have you around. I like how you put yourself, that you're passionate about helping job seekers get their dream jobs. That's the dream for everybody. But let's trackle back a bit and ask ourselves, how competitive is the Kenyan job market? And when you're talking about competitive, what are you talking about?
The current job market have got very stiff competition.
Yes.
Before COVID, it was stiff, but when COVID came, it became more stiffer because there were people who were laid off, and there were jobs that were scrapped off completely from the market.
Yes.
So those job seekers are now jobless out there, and it is estimated that approximately 1.2 million Kenyans lost jobs. So, and then they joined the rest of the Kenyans who are jobless. So it has become very stiff. The competition is very stiff, so only those who are well packaged are able to grab the few opportunities that are there in the market.
Pretty much. That's the only way that you look at it in terms of competitiveness. Can we also look at it in terms of the available skill that is in the market? Is that also another point to look at?
It is another issue.
Yes.
When we have the colleges and the universities, when they release the job seekers to the market,
yes,
there is a very huge gap between the job seekers and what the employers want. So when students are joining the university,
yes,
and they are joining the colleges, they are more of curriculum oriented. They go there as to get the grades. They are focused. They are crammers. They are exam takers.
Yes.
They are focused on getting that grade A.
Yes.
So when they get out here with their papers, they don't know what to do with it. Because employers is looking more than just grades. Is looking for the employability skills. What are these employability skills? They are looking for the communication skills. Can you be able to compile a simple letter of correspondence?
Yes.
Can you be able to communicate to the management on a certain project that you are doing? Are you well organized? Are you a team player? Are you the type that's going to be pushed aloud, or you are flexible enough that you can be able to you have the self-drive?
Yes.
Especially now that people are working from home, nobody is there to micromanage you. Do you have the self-drive to deliver? That's what the employers are looking for.
Interesting you should say that, and this is one question that anybody's going to ask you today, Mr. Watari, that are these employable skills that you're talking about this morning, can they be learned from these institutions where these learners are, or that is something that you got to acquire after you graduate?
Unfortunately, the current system of education does not give you that when you're in the college or the university.
Yes.
When in the college or the university, you are just focused on getting this grade and going to the job market. We are these generations are victims. We are victims of where the computer selected the course for us to do in the university.
Yes.
And you go there, and the course that you are doing, it was never your passion in the first place. You try changing the course, becomes very difficult. When you go to the lecture house, a lecture hall of 1,000 students, you get 4,000 students. Sometimes the microphones are not even working, so you end up just now cramming the notes and getting the grades, which becomes now to transit that knowledge that you got in the colleges and universities to the employment becomes quite difficult. So employers are finding quite difficult now because when you get out of the school of university and colleges, they have now to train you again. That is a huge gap that is between now the employers and the job seekers.
Yes,
yeah.
Pretty much. Then let's talk about the skills then. From where you said it this morning, Mr. Watare, top 5 that as a learner or as a job seeker that I need to know that once I step into this job market, this is what my employer is going to ask for.
Now, job seeking is a skill in itself.
Yes.
From being able to craft your CV to convince the employer to employ you, from being able to package yourself for an interview to pass the interview, from being able to write a convincing cover letter for you to get this job.
Yes.
So what are the skills required when you are going to look for a job? You need to communicate well your skills. I encourage job seekers to move from the grades to the skills and the value you are going to give the organization.
Yes.
You can be able to do this by communicating to the employer during an interview the skills and the values that you're bringing that is going to tell aloud the business. You should be able to have the emotional intelligence. You have the right emotional orientation. Mm-hmm. The right attitude. You can be able to be trained. You can be able to, you are flexible enough. For example, they are the organizations are different. We have got the big organizations, the corporates, and we have got the small organizations, and the business needs are different.
Yes.
For example, in corporates, there are well-defined structures and departments. For the small organization, you may be required if, for example, you are employed as an administration assistant. Sometimes you will be required to do some administration work, some customer service work, some procurement work that are not in your JD. Are you flexible enough? So that the skills that employers are looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right, let's talk about another aspect that I really want to talk to you about. We do have a lot of professional bodies outside here that are aligned with your career. It's a question that I got. How important is it that this job seeker must join these professional bodies? What value does it add to my CV?
It adds a lot of value.
Yes.
There are several professional bodies out there, depending on your career path and your passion and your dream job. That dream job that you want to acquire.
Yes.
If you want to become a chief finance officer, definitely you are going to go into the finance courses, and it's very encouraged you join the CPA or the ACCA courses.
Yes.
And their professional bodies are well registered, they are well known. The CPAK, where you can get you can do your CPAs and be a certified public accountant.
Yes.
The same happens to other professionals like HR. We have got the IHRM, where they started a course 3 years ago for certified human resource managers.
Yes.
There are so many. There are where procurement will become a certified procurement officer. Mm-hmm. So, depending on the career you want to pursue, it's good that you research for this information. It is out there. Have the right mentors to mentor you on your career. Mentors are very important, and this is one of the aspects that job seekers tend to ignore, and it's very important. Unfortunately, it is not well structured in our universities to have proper mentors that can mentor students from the course they are doing and how the job market is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear you lay a very important emphasis on communication, that you getting a job is exactly what you're telling your employer at that point of meeting.
Yes.
But then there's a process before you get to meet your employer. And now we're talking about the online age where even your CV is online.
Yes.
So I'm just going to ask you a question, James.
Yes.
I'm not the only one applying. We're saying there's a lot of
Yes.
competition in the market. I might have people who have the same skill set as mine.
Yes.
What is going to make my CV stand out? Let's start from there, because before my CV is selected, I can't meet my employer to communicate to them.
Sure.
Yes.
So a CV was created in 1950s.
Yes.
It has evolved over time from the handwritten to the typewritten. We are no longer in those ages where people used to carry brown envelopes, dropping CVs all over.
Yes.
You find them on Kelcom and Hood Park after a long day of dropping CVs. We are no longer in that age. Unfortunately, you find a few still doing that. It's good to keep up with the trends that is happening these days. So, a well-crafted this CV these days is an ATS, a compliant CV, what I call a digital CV. What is a digital CV? A digital CV is a CV that is customized to the job that you're applying for. One of the frustrations of employers that job seekers do not take time to read at the JD and customize their CV to the job they are applying. They look at this customer service. They don't care whether the customer service is in manufacturing. They don't care whether it is in the media industry. They don't care whether it is in the hospitality industry. They will just apply without reading the JD. And these industries are quite different. So it's good to read the JD, and now you customize your CV according to the job you're applying for. What do I call ATS?
Yes.
ATS is Applicant Tracking System.
Yes.
Applicant Tracking System was brought about by the international corporates, the Amazons, the Facebook, because when they would advertise a job, under 24 hours they would receive over 500,000 applications. There is no human resource who would go through that in the short span of the recruitment process. So they created this so that before the CV gets to the hands of the recruiter, it goes through a machine. So these days it is the machine that is reading the CVs in most organizations.
So averagely, how long is this machine going to take on my CV?
It's a very simple process.
Yes.
If you what the machine does,
Yes.
The recruiter feeds the machine with the JD.
Yes.
And now they upload your CV, and then it gives a certain score according to how your CV and the JD are matching.
Yes.
So if you did take time to match your CV to the JD according to the core skills and the repetitive competencies that are emphasized on the JD, then your CV will be rejected at that point, and then you keep saying there are no jobs out here.
People say make a 1 or 2 page CV.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, I'll say it depends. It's not a straightforward question. I'll say it is a 1 page or a 2 page or a 3 page.
Yes.
For example, if it is a university professor, how are you telling a university professor to have a 1 page or 2 page CV? It's barely the publications he has done is 1 page is barely the book he has co-authored.
Yes.
And these things are required when the recruiter in the university are looking at the CV of a professor. All these publications are required. So it depends from one industry to another, one profession to another, and the level of your career. If you are starting at your entry level, if your CV is more than 2 pages, I would wonder what you are writing in that CV. So it varies.
Yes.
So this is what I want to say. As long as what you have put your CV is of value, it is not irrelevant. It is relevant to the job you are applying for. Just make sure your CV have got the relevant information that is required.
Yes.
Since you are going to customize your CV according to the job you are applying.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Good. So we're talking about the new age, Mr. Watare.
Yeah.
And now there's something called an online profile.
Yes.
Funny enough, I've got friends of mine who are telling me I lost that job because my social media wasn't really taking to exactly what they needed. They said my social media profile didn't represent the type of person they actually needed. Are we now telling job applicants that, well, even your social media profile should be in line with this job that you're applying? Because at the end of the day, one way or another, your employer might want into that social media profile.
Sure. Social media have revolutionized the way recruitment is done these days.
Yes.
And there are several social media. We have got the Facebook, we have Twitter, and we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for professionals where they interact.
Yes.
And we have become a very popular platform where recruiters go to search for candidates if they want to fill a certain position.
Yes.
And online platforms have become very popular. We have got the job boards. The job boards are the likes of the Fuzu, Brighter Monday, and according to a research that was recently done, 75% of the employers these days are preferring to go to job boards to post their jobs on boards because it is less time consuming and it is less expensive, and they are going now to get the candidates they want. These job boards, they are using what I'm calling the intelligence system, the applicant tracking system. So if your CV is not customized, then it's going to be rejected at this point. LinkedIn has become a very popular ground for I get so many comments and requests and job seekers asking for advice.
Yes.
I am looking for a job in the NGO world. I'm like, okay, that's a very good idea, but let's break down this NGO. This NGO health, the NGO infrastructure, NGO education. You need to define which NGO you go into.
Yes.
These NGOs, most of their headquarters are in their home country. The headquarters are in New York. The headquarters are in UK. The headquarters are in Germany. Most of these decisions are made in their headquarters. So, for they look in your social media. They will come into your LinkedIn and look whether you have optimized your profile, if they have what you are looking for. They will go into your Twitter account. They will go into your Instagram to see whether the professional they are looking for is the CV that they have received. Is it the professional that is out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So people really need to take care of their online profiles.
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
All right. Now let's take a minute and talk about Jobs Hub. What is it? Why did you start it? Why are you running it? What do you intend to do with it?
Job Hub takes care of the employers and employees.
Yes.
Employees is where they come to for career branding.
Yes.
And to look for jobs. For employers is where they come to get the best talent. The motivation for this, for me starting the Executive Jobs Hub, is because I found a gap in the market. When the job seekers are out of the universities and the colleges and they are looking for jobs, they don't have a platform where they can go and get the current trades on how to go about searching for a job. You get a job seeker, start working for many months, probably years, looking for a job. So I found it an opportunity for me to get out there and educate the job seekers on how to go about career branding. Career branding is all about how do you package yourself on an interview. How do you package yourself to tell the employer, these are the skills I have, this is the value I can give your organization, can you employ me? So it's also a platform whereby I am bringing on board recruiters to post jobs for job seekers now to apply for jobs so that they can get the best talent out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, let's clear this conversation like this, Mr. Watare.
Yes.
We are in the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of jobs have been cut, and you've seen exactly the numbers that we've run this morning in terms of how the COVID-19 pandemic has made the Kenyan job space, which is competitive, to even get more competitive.
Yes.
Somebody is listening to you and saying, wow, I lost my job. What's my way back into employment?
Well, your way back to employment is now to take stock of your skills. If you have been in employment for 10 years and this is your first time that you're finding yourself unemployed, it's very important now you take stock of your skills. You take stock of your experience and the expertise that you have gained. One of the things that I emphasized for job seekers is to look at the achievement that you have achieved over the years, because now we have moved from a role-based kind of CV or a kind of a profile to an achievement-based profile.
Yes.
The employer needs to see that you have been an achiever, not just a doer. So we have got people in the corporate world or in the employment world who are just good with just being okay. They get to the office, they just do the normal job, they have no initiative. If they are given a project to do, they just deliver just on the deadline, or they don't even deliver to the deadline. So the employer is looking at an achiever. So it's you to package yourself an achiever there, so that now, if you put yourself there, and the employer is looking for you, now the employer is going to call you and find out if you can add value to the organization.
Adding value to the organization.
Yeah.
Mr. Mutare James.
Yes.
Thank you very much for taking your time this morning to speak to us. You've been quite invaluable.
I appreciate.
Guess what? We shall be calling you one more time so we can talk about these issues.
I appreciate. I'm more than humbled to come back.
Pretty much.
Yes, yes.
On that note, we take a short break here on a Business AM. Once we come back, we continue.